Alright, so, second night of a back-to-back. Now we got Houston Rockets. Of course, we didn't have Freddie again, we didn't have OG again. So, yeah, we were playing with just our skeleton crew here. And, yeah, we grinded out this win. This was a game that could have gotten out of hand. Some of our players who helped us get this win, we had Pascal Siakam. You know, he was just a point shy of 30 points, so he had 29 points. I believe he had a double-double, and he had north of 5 assists too. I can't remember exactly how many. Then we had, of course, Gary Trent. He scored 26 points. Again, like 30 points the last night, 26 points the night after. He of course, you know, we were relying on him heavily because now we didn't have Freddie and OG too, right? So that was pretty cool for him to get his. Yeah, Scotty Barnes did his thing. You know, he had a pretty decent game as well. He made some clutch plays and he had some nice posters. Yeah, he dunks pretty good. If he were to ever, I don't know if he would be a skillful dunker, but he's definitely an impactful dunker. You know, that really changes the momentum of the game. Even the bench, you know, they were pretty decent. You know, again, it was one of those games. It was, you know, and I'm going to talk about why this game was a little weird. Because yes, it was in a back-to-back, and yes, it was against a team that had the worst record in the league. But y'all need to realize that a team that has nothing to lose, and I did talk about this in my previous videos, a team that is already out of the playoff picture. It already knows its fate. It's got nothing to lose but to look forward to the next season. Those are the kind of teams you want to be wary of. You want to be careful playing with those kind of teams because they are now playing without any pressure. And if anything, they want to prove to the league that they can play and they can beat these big teams that have already clinched a playoff spot. And that could very well have happened last night. It was very close. At points in the game, we were, you know, we were down by a lot, double digits for sure. And for most of the game, we were. We only started ramping it up in the third quarter, and then just when it seemed like we were getting the momentum, they would come back, and they would come back hard. Like, it was rough. It was rough to watch that game. And then, of course, when it came down to the fourth quarter, I knew it was only a matter of time when we were going to dial up the intensity. Now, Nurse, you know, he kind of rolled the ball a little bit. He played a little, I don't want to say he played chess with the Houston Rockets. I think he played more like checkers with them. You know, he let Utah had a little bit of a run in that game just to provide some energy, some spark off the bench. And that is exactly what he did. You know, we were very good with, you know, forcing the Houston Rockets with a lot of turnovers. We were very good with that because we had some very busy hands. We stole the ball quite a bit. And, yeah, even Utah, like, he didn't have very much time in the game, but with what he did, he had like 2 steals. And he had maybe like under 10 minutes in the game. So, yeah, we were very good defensively that way. Thad Young, again, that name is being dropped again. So, Thaddeus Young had a pretty good night, actually. He scored like 14 points off the bench. You know, like, he's a veteran. He knows how to play the game, and he exploited the matchups. He knew his lanes. He knew exactly what needed to be done to get that victory. Crashing the boards, whatever it was. Hustle plays, scrappy defensive plays. That was all Thad Young. I gotta give it to the Houston Rockets, you know, like, they were, you can tell they have a lot of improvements that they need to be, they need to make. They are one of, if not the youngest team in the league right now. And so they definitely need to improve things like ball movement. They need to improve game IQ, defense, to a certain degree. They definitely do. Consistency for sure. they need to improve. They basically need to have experience as well. So they have a lot of areas to work on, but I wouldn't put the Houston Rockets in a in a position where it's like, yeah, you know what, they're 5 years from being 5 years away from being 2 years away. No, I think next season they may make some good strides unless the GM decides to make some moves or trades, whatever it is. But I feel like the Houston Rockets do have some potential. They have some good pieces. Having said that, though, we, on the other hand, yes, it was a back-to-back, so maybe fatigue was one of the factors that played into displaying such a frustrating game. Okay, but as a fan, maybe like, no. Let's just call it what it was. It was a frustrating game for the first 3 quarters. It really was. Every time we had some momentum, it was like they just counterpunched and we were just complacent. We played to our level of our competition. It was evident. You can tell, we almost even matched their style of play and their intensity. You have to understand, like, and again, I know the Raptors typically, they like to run. They like to run. They're a run and gun kind of team. But so are the Rockets, right? What do? How do you counter that? It's very simple. They want to run, you slow the game down. Maybe give them a taste of playoff basketball. Half-court offense. I don't know, right? Think about it. So, if the Houston Rockets want to run, they're going to run. But that doesn't mean you got to run too, because guess what? They will be able to catch up to you. They will be able to defend you. And then now, because you're so used to that style of run and gun play against most of the league, now when you play a team like Houston Rockets, they can match you. They can keep up with you now. Now, you're caught flat-footed when you're like, oh, wow, they're already here. Oh, what do I do with the ball? Now I gotta kick it out, right? Try something like slow the game down. Maybe be tough on them in the interior. Don't just kind of like, oh, you know what, they beat me to it. No, make them feel it. Be rough, be physical with them, right? And of course, ball movement. Move that ball around. I saw the first 3 quarters. I saw that I didn't see the typical ball movement that the Raptors are known for. There was a lot of one-on-one. There was a lot of, yes, I'm going to run and gun, but I'm not going to move the ball around as much. Maybe 2 passes at the most. No, it's got to be at least 3, if not 4 passes. Or ideally everybody should be touching that ball before any moves are to be made. But, and I thought I was waiting for that. And it only happened in the 4th quarter when all things said and done, they scraped and clawed back their way. It was a grinded out kind of victory, but hey, a W is a W. At the end of the day, when we look back at this game a few weeks or months down the road, we're not going to be like, oh, remember that ugly victory we had? No, it's going to be like, we had the W, we clinched our playoff spot, and we've solidified our spot in the 5th position. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we are definitely locked into the 5th spot, for sure. I believe Chicago may have been blown out by Charlotte, because I was kind of watching the scores for the Charlotte and Chicago game at the same time, and at one point they were down by 50. I was like, or 40, sorry. Yeah, there was like a 40-point margin or something like that, and I was like, whoa, Chicago's going to lose this for sure. And we're definitely solidifying that 5th. So I'm going to go with, yes, I believe we're definitely locked in for the 5th. It's only a matter of, and we have just one more game against the New York Knicks. Guys, let's finish this season on a high note. Let's get that W. Although, I am also not opposed to Nick Nurse kind of being like, okay, you know what, Pascal, you get the night off as well. And then maybe some other bench players get some reps. In that case, that's okay. I'd rather them get the experience, and they should definitely, I think they should definitely rest Pascal for the last game. Get him fresh as a daisy. Then again, we do have the play-in tournament as well. So if they don't rest Pascal, maybe they bring Freddie back. That would be great too.